Hi, I'm Jay, EscobarJ.com. This video is 7 rich people habits that will change your life. And I'm going to obviously this is going to be a 7-part video series to this topic. I'm going to go through each one step by step, one by one, and talk about each individual habit that rich people have that will change your life if you start adopting these things. And I can tell you from experience with all of them, they work. They and it makes sense as to why so many successful, wealthy, rich people do these things once you break it down, once you understand the principles behind it. So first off, today we're going to talk about having great nutrition. This one is very near and dear to me. If you don't know my story. I, at one point in 2018, had my son, and he's two years and 3 or 4 months now. But back when he was born in April of 2018, I weighed approximately 235 pounds. That was the heaviest point that I ever reached. And I was a balloon. I had a big gut. I've always had a gut my entire life, even through high school. And I could never, even the times I work out really hard, it was tough for me. I would always have a gut, and my friends would always get more cut than me. That, I'd be working out with them that have more muscle mass, and, they didn't necessarily have 6-packs or anything like that, but they were just more toned and more in shape than I was. And it had to do with my nutrition. That's really getting in shape is about 30% actually mechanics of doing the gym and going exercising. Well, maybe more than that, maybe 40% or 50% of gym, but they're a huge chunk of it. I would say between 50 to 80% of getting in shape is great nutrition, what you're putting into your body and what you're feeding your brain and your body and the things that are flowing through your blood system. And rich and successful people, they want to maximize their life. They understand that you only get one shot at this life, and they love what they do typically, and they want to do that for a long time. And they understand that having great nutrition and taking care of their bodies is going to help them live longer, feel better, and be more sharp mentally than eating junk food or putting things in their bodies that produce negative. So what I recommend for you, just start being more aware, start paying attention, and start noticing the ingredients in the foods that you eat. And if you don't know some of the ingredients, typically the more difficult the ingredients are to pronounce, the worse they're going to be for you. And just start educating yourself. Start looking up YouTube videos on different types of diets. And I actually have some videos that you can watch. Just go to my channel, click the playlist button, and you can check out my nutrition playlist. And I've got a whole bunch of videos in there talking about the keto diet, intermittent fasting. I even talk about like carnivore diet, paleo, etc. And that will help you, with more information on being more aware of your nutrition and what to look for, what not to eat, what to eat, those types of things. But in general, the more ingredients on the label, the worse the food is going to be for you. So you ever notice like those ingredients where it's like, benzoate and acids and all sorts of just then the list is super long and words you can't even pronounce and never even knew existed. Those are the types of things that you want to stay away from typically. And so simple foods or whole foods are going to be your best bet. And the less ingredients or the more natural or organic ingredients on that ingredients list, the better usually it's going to be for you. And it's a good rule of thumb to follow. And of course, it's not always that way. Of course, there's foods out there that have a couple ingredients that just aren't good for you. But it's a good guideline to follow. Now, another thing, this is hard. It's going to be very, very hard for most people because especially here in the Western culture, the American diet, we love carbohydrates and we love sugar. And what I'm going to tell you is you need to cut out sugar, you need to cut out processed foods, and you need to cut out complex carbohydrates. And if you start paying attention to the labels of the foods you buy, you are going to be blown away as to really how much sugar is in a lot of products, a lot of foods that you typically think are harmless or good for you, but really aren't. For example, like yogurt. Most people think yogurt's healthy because it's fruit. Like, for example, some cereals. Like, I always thought growing up that Honey Bunches of Oats was good for you because there was grains and oats and, you know, almonds and things in it. But you look at the label, there is tons of sugar in that cereal. And it's just not good for you. And so when you start paying attention to those labels and you start paying attention to the foods you buy, you're going to be shocked at how much sugar you actually are consuming. And just that fact alone of just looking at the label and seeing how much sugar is in certain products and looking at the serving size, because sometimes they'll trick you. They'll put down that, oh, this only has 5 grams of sugar, but you look at the whole container and how many servings are in it, and there's maybe 50 servings in there or 20 servings in there. And, you know, 20 times 5 grams is, you know, that's a lot of sugar. Or 50 servings times 5 grams is a lot of sugar when you think about it. So just make sure you're looking at the labels and you're looking at the ingredients list. And again, with sugar, that stimulates the same part of the brain that cocaine does. I don't know if you knew that, but it's also very, very addictive, just like cocaine is. So try the ketogenic, the paleo, whole-30, vegan, or carnivore diets, and you'll actually be really amazingly surprised at how much weight you can lose in a relatively short period of time. And just, if you don't know my story, in 2018, I weighed 235 pounds. 2020, I'm down to around 165 to 175 pounds. But I actually lost 75 pounds in a matter of 8 months in 2019. And it was a combination of eating right. I was utilizing the keto diet. That's what I did. Intermittent fasting in conjunction with the keto diet, and then high intensity interval training. Just hard exercise, you know, physical labor. There's no way around it. There's no shortcuts to success. And so you have to be disciplined. It was hard, especially the first few weeks doing it. It was difficult. My cravings kicked in, you know, exercising that hard. I was sore, you know, it's hard. It's hard but once you get the snowball going and you get that snowball rolling big, you hit momentum, you start seeing some results, you start looking better, and it becomes addictive. You don't want to stop. And then once you get to that snowball state where you're kind of in flow state of your nutrition and exercise, you start feeling guilty, which is a good thing. You start feeling guilty for even eating like a little stick of gum that has some acetylsulfame potassium in it, or, you know, what's the other really bad thing for you? Aspartame, right, is terrible for you, right? And you just start getting, you're like, man, I've been working so hard. I've been seeing these so many results. I don't want to mess it up, you know? So I can't cheat at all. You know, you see the ice cream at the store or something, you're like, oh man, that looks really good. But you know what? I've been doing so well. I don't want to mess anything up because I've been working really hard. I don't want to go backwards. And it kind of just keeps that snowball going, and it makes it a lot easier to start eating better. So again, you'll be amazed at how much weight you can lose in a relatively short period of time. And like I said, intermittent fasting in conjunction with any one of the diets that I mentioned beforehand is going to significantly reduce the fat storage in your body. You'll start burning a lot more fat. And then eating well is not only going to help you lose weight, but it's going to help you sleep better. I noticed that I started sleeping deeper. I started waking up a lot easier in the mornings. Like I didn't feel like groggy, or like I was like, oh, I got hit by you know, some of those mornings you feel like you just got hit by a train and you're just like, don't want to move. I don't get that anymore. Like ever. It's so easy for me to wake up. As soon as my alarm goes off, I wake up, I stand up, I go get some water, drink some water, and I have my morning ritual, which I'm going to explain in some upcoming videos that I do, because it has to do with 7 rich people habits that will change your life. And so by waking up easier, you can be more focused for longer periods of time by eating better, and you can go longer periods of time without feeling that craving for food, or like, you know, when you eat a huge meal and you feel like you need some dessert, you need that sugar rush after. Like you don't get that when you eat properly. You have a lot more energy. You feel good all the time, and you'll rarely ever get that food coma feeling or that 2:30 like tired afternoon sleepiness or grogginess feeling. So overall, I mean, this is one habit that rich people and successful and wealthy people really embrace and it will, I promise you, it'll change your life. And if you start taking nutrition a lot more seriously and experiencing how much better you'll feel, you won't want to stop. So I recommend, what I challenge you to do is to do a 90-day challenge of eating good, wholesome foods, and or just trying one of the diets that I mentioned before, the keto, paleo, whole 30, vegan, carnivore, intermittent fasting. Just try those for 90 days and stay away from the bad stuff, stay away from processed foods, sugar, look at the labels, and stay away from that stuff, and just try it. Just see how you feel after 90 days. If you don't want to do it after 90 days, then fine. But I can almost 100% guarantee you that after the 90 days, once you see some results and some weight loss, you're not going to want to stop. You're going to change that bad habit of yours, and you will want to start living a healthier and better life, especially once you start seeing like the cognitive function abilities, the energy, increased energy. I mean, you'll just feel a lot better in your life. So if you like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell icon so you never miss anytime I release a video. If you'd like to get my help with this topic, the fastest way to get a hold of me is to book a coaching session on my website, escobarj.com. You can also send me an email there if you have a success story or if you're struggling with something. If you'd like to make a donation, any amount of money or any donation is much appreciated. You can donate any amount of money you feel is worth the value of the information in this video or any of my other videos. And at the very least, my purpose is to share this and to help as many people as I possibly can, and to get this message out to as many people as possible. So do me a favor and share this on any social media platform with your friends and family. You never know, somebody you know might be going through a tough time and just needs some guidance, some wisdom, and some redirection. And nutrition is one of the first steps in achieving that. So I hope you're always learning, always growing, and always pushing forward. And I will see you in the next video. Take care.